The music wasn't playing in the pool hall this week, so I've got some background pool sounds in this week's Rack of the Week. Oh boy, let's get into it. Welcome to this week's Rack of the Week. I'm starting this rack with the key ball on the previous rack because I failed to get good position. I wanted a stop shot on this 3 ball, but I'm going to go 4 rails long. What am I talking about? We all know that the line from the line to the corner pocket is like this. So if you play the cue ball above that spot on this 3rd rail, you're going to come short. Short would be to here. If you play the cue ball to this side of that shot of this line, then your cue ball is going to come long. So I could do it either way. If I played 3 rails short, I would have to play it with speed for my cue ball to hit this rail and kind of flop down. I want the cue ball on the bottom rail here to shoot the 7-ball break shot. I choose to play 3 rails long. So that means the cue ball to this side of the middle diamond on the short rail, so it hits low, close to the side pocket on the 3rd rail and comes long. So now I choose that because I think it's easier to play the speed control. You're just trying to make sure you get past the 7 so you have a good angle on the break shot. Knowing that can come in handy in straight pool. It's more of a 9-ball positional route, but comes up in straight pool. Now, in this break shot, obviously below the rack break shot, I've got an inside angle, and I'd like to have high right on this. I think I'm choosing just to shoot with a high ball. You want right English because the cue ball is going to go straight to this rail and then out. The right English is going to bring it out or maybe into these balls and then out. I'm choosing a higher pocketing percentage, no side English. Make that ball. And I get kind of fortunate that the cue ball came straight across and opened up these balls that were going to be clustered right here. So really ideal situation in this break shot. And I'm going right to the shot, and I see what it is already. This is the three shot sequence. So little rack analysis, just real quick. Break shot. 13's most likely going to be my break shot for the next rack. This one's a little low, but it could work, and I might nudge one of these balls up, but probably the 13. And one of the reasons it makes 13 great is the 10 balls are in a great position as a key ball. I could use one of these as a key ball, and believe it or not, you could use one of these balls as a key ball. If you get a low angle, like over here, then you just shoot one of these in this corner, and then just slide your cue ball over here for the break shot. So that's a possibility, too. I've got so many possibilities. That's what this rack of the week is called, options overload. And by the way, the 15 is also a good key ball for the 13-ball break shot because you can just go 2 rails right out here to your break shot position. And that's going to come up later in this rack. But the sequence that I see involves this ball. That's my trouble ball. I want to get on that trouble ball as soon as possible. It's not a huge trouble ball. The balls are wide open, so it's not going to be that big a deal. But get rid of it early. Do it now. Do it now. One thing I could do is shoot the 14 and just come like this. Then I'm on that 6. But this is a little bit, you got to deal with this. And so I see a 3-shot sequence, which is shoot the 14, come over here. As long as I'm low on the 4, I'm not going to move the 15. And from there, my cue ball just comes right up here to the 6. So let's do that. You want to look for these sequences, 2, 3, 4 ball sequences. They allow you to distract yourself from the rest of the rack. You can just say, 14, 4, 6. Let's do that. And then just execute. Just do that. Don't think about anything else. So that's what I've done. Knowing that from the 6 ball, it's a super simple matter to just roll forward or pull back for a shot on the 3 or the 12. And so I'm still not putting any more thought into the rack. It looks like, I've decided to stun forward. Don't slow roll this ball, guys. Stun it forward the way I just did. You can hit the ball with more accuracy, and you can control the speed and distance of the cue ball better. So now I'm taking a look, and I'm asking myself, what's the next priority? That's how you run a rack of straight pool. The 6 ball was a priority, so I saw a 3-shot sequence to deal with it. Don't have to think anything about anything else. Once that's done, what's your next priority? It's this. Some of you are going to think, it's this. But the 2 ball goes in this corner. This is a cluster that does not need to be bumped. I'm going to shoot those balls off without bumping them. I can get position on this two in this corner. And the 1 ball is not nearly as much of a trouble ball as the 6 was, but it's up table and it's near the rail, so it's something I want to get rid of early. Now, it'd be super easy to shoot something and play position to this zone, and I can just tap the one on the side. That's a fine option. I'm not going to argue with anybody who wants to do that. But what I saw is another 3-shot sequence. 3, 1, 11, which gets me on the 2. So now, just commit to that. Kind of falls in with the theme of this week, options overload. There's a ton of different things I could do. I could shoot the 3 and then the 10 and then the 12, or the 3 and go to something else. There's so many options. It doesn't matter. You need to decide what your priorities are and use that to determine the next sequence. So that's what I did rather quickly. It's going to be 3, 1, 11, and I want to make sure to get an angle on the 1. My cue ball is going to brush the 12, but I knew the 12 wasn't going to move very far and tie up. But definitely was playing speed control to get an angle on this 1 ball. Why is that? Because if I got straight in on the 1, now my cue ball is going to be here, and how am I going to get the cue ball off the rail after shooting the 1 to be comfortable to shoot the 2? I'm not, unless if I have to draw back. Now you've got a speed control issue to make sure you draw back far enough, but not too far. It's so troublesome, whereas you want to get an angle. All your balls near the rail, never get straight in on those balls. Because if I need to hold the cue ball right here on this 1 ball shot, I can do it. So what is this angle? Well, here's straight in. Oop, I didn't draw a good line there. Here's straight in for the 1 ball. Here is a half ball hit, 30 degrees. Where's my cue ball? It's exactly halfway in between. Now, I got a little fortunate that it got there, but that's what I aimed for. This would be fine. This would be fine. Somewhere in that vicinity. You want to get an angle on your rail shots. I can hold the cue ball here. I can bounce the cue ball out to here. I can bounce it and bring it back a little bit. I can bring it back this direction. I can roll forward to here. I can bounce all the way over to here. I can go 2 rails up to here. You have so many options. How many options do I have if I get straight in? Not much. Hardly any compared to getting this angle. So get an angle on your rail shot. So that's what I did there. And I'm going to use that angle to get the same angle on the 11. Then it'll be easy to direct the cue ball with precision to get on the 2. What does that mean? Here's the 2 ball. Let me get down on the shot here. I want to be below the shot line. I could play the 2 and then the 15, but the 9 ball blocks the 5 over in this corner, and I might want to do that later. And I mentioned earlier, the 2 ball is a potential key ball. So is the 10. I've talked about in the past how if you can manufacture additional optional potential break balls, it's great to do that. It's awesome to have more than one option for your break ball. A lot of times any of your options can become a key ball for other break balls. So it gives you more options for your end pattern. Well, it's the same for your key balls. If you have more than one key ball, you have more options. And we're going to talk about that in a second. Obviously, the title of this episode is Options Overload. You're better off having options overload than not having a lot of options. So I'm staying below the shot line to the 2 so that I can just bring the cue ball here to shoot the 9 next. And then I'll be in the end pattern. I'm really in the end pattern now, but I'm going to go 2-9 and then decide. Actually, I think I've already decided, but simple matter, 100% positional route. I could bump the 5 here, but, there's no reason to. Just do this. Now, I'm committing. Yeah, I'm taking a look. I'm making a decision here, but I've committed already. I'm going to back me up and get me out of the way. Yeah, let's shoot this shot again. Get out of my way, Bob. There we go. So I'm making a decision what to do here. Now, I just got done saying, preserve the 15. Don't shoot it. Well, now the situation's different. I don't have to preserve the 15. I could. But now I'm committing to the 10 as my key ball. But I wouldn't have to. I could go. Let's shoot the 9 ball and take a look at what the result is. So stop shot. Yeah. Oh, good shot. Easy. Okay. Now, I'm committing to the 10 ball as a key ball, but I wouldn't have to. I talked about options overload. Look at what else I could shoot from here. 5 in the side. What could I do with that? There's several things. Stop shot. Then I can shoot the 8. Then I have 2-rail position on the 15, which brings me straight at the 12 in the side. As long as I stay below the shot line, I can float up for my key ball. 5, 8, 15, 12. Good end pattern. What else could I do? Well, I could roll forward. Here's the shot line to the 12. I could roll forward above the shot line. Then it's easy to come over here and shoot the 8, 15, 2 rails out for the 10. So 5, 8, 12, 15. I don't like that one as well because this can be hard to control. You might end up way short or you could come way long and then you have more trouble. But it's an option. What else could I do? I could roll forward and stay low on the 12, then roll up for the 10 and get high. Here's the shot line for the 10. Get high on the 10. Then I can come down here and I'm on the 8. Now from the 8, I have a 2-rail route for my key for position on the break shot. That's using the 15 as a key ball. Love that. I'm not considering any of these options because they all involve shooting the 5, and I've already committed to shooting the 15. Why have I done that? Because both of these balls go here. So I can use the 15 to get there. So I don't have a firm end pattern yet, but it's pretty obvious it's going to be, I'm going to shoot the 15, then one or both of these, and then use the 12 to get on the 10. So when you're shooting this 15, what don't you want to do? Do not play your cue ball straight up here. Never, 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 never do that. Why is that? Because sometimes you're going to miss-hit it and hit your break ball. Sometimes you're going to miss-hit it and land behind the 10. Sometimes you're going to miss-hit it and you're going to be frozen to this rail and have a difficult shot on the 5 or 10. Just add a little bit of left spin and go 2 rails. Foolproof. Why is that? It's because you're playing the cue ball to a rail and then off the rail. So you're not judging the speed from here to up to here. You're judging the speed from the rail to here. So you will never be on the rail. You might sometimes hit it a little long or short, but you've got such a huge window between these balls, you're going to get there. Now, depending on where the cue ball stops, you can look at your options. And I don't think you're going to be able to see me off on the edge of the screen. It's kind of funny. Right now I'm chalking my cue, looking at my options and deciding what my exact end pattern is going to be. And I'm actually literally bouncing in my shoes because I can't decide. I've got so many options, and I have options overload. Now I've decided, and I'm getting down. Well, have I decided? Yeah, I have. Because I'm going to look at the angle for the 5 in the side and then coming back. But I don't have to shoot that. There's so many options here. This is an ideal position to be in, to have too many options. And part of the reason why is I have a break ball, and I had 2 key balls on the same side of the table as the break ball, and then I have balls in the center of the table that are all open. That's ideal. That's what causes you to have so many options. So look for those situations when there's 14 balls on the table so that you can shoot the balls opposite from your break ball and up table so that you have that situation for your end pattern. Okay, options overload. What can I do? Well, I can shoot the 5, just come over here. Then I can shoot the 10. I can either go 1 rail and up, draw back, or 2 rails to get a shot on the 12. And I'd want to be below the shot line to the 12, so my cue ball moves this way for the 10. That's an option. It's not bad. I don't like the 2-rail route. That can sometimes get away from you, but this is a real good route. What else can I do? I could shoot the 8, 1 rail, right up here for the 5. Now I can shoot the 5 and go 1 rail for the 12, or draw back if I get straight, or 2 rails out of the corner to get on the 12, as long as I get below the 12. You don't want to get above it. What else can I do? I could shoot the 5 and roll forward, then shoot the 12 and draw back a little. Now I can shoot the 8 and go 2 rails like this to get on the 10. I see a lot of people choosing that route, and I don't like it. I think it's the worst of the options I've mentioned so far. The reason why is this two-rail position off the 8 can get away from you. And so, and I see some people do this, and I used to do this. I would try to go 2 rails to here. and I've talked about this in previous Recs of the Weeks, why that's bad, because you're giving yourself a very narrow margin for error. If you play your cue ball back here away from the 10, then you have a much margin for error to be able to shoot the 10 and hold it for your break shot. So, but I don't like that one. What else could I do? I could actually shoot the 5, staying low on the 12, and then come up high on the 10, because then I can shoot the 10 to here, shoot the 8 in this corner, and then I can go 2 rails to my break ball position. So that's how many options is that? 4, 5? There's probably more. And if you see a good one, especially if it's a better one than I end up shooting, let me know in the comment section. I wanted to mention this though, options overload. What do you do when you're in the situation I was in? I was literally bouncing in my shoes because I couldn't decide. What you do is you close your eyes, spin around 3 times, open your eyes, and the first thing you see, shoot that. Because shooting the wrong shot with confidence is way better than shooting the right shot with doubt. When you have options overload, just make a decision and commit to it. And so it can be better to just go ahead and commit to it and not try and overanalyze and find what's the optimal best one. You're just going to give yourself paralysis if you do that. So I've made a decision, and my decision is I'm real close to straight on the 5, and I can hold the cue ball on the 8 rather, and I can hold the cue ball for the 5 in the side. And then I can go, so I'm going to go 8, 5, 12, 10. So I walked over to see my angle for this to get on the 5 in the side. And now, had I ended up above the 5, I could have rolled forward to here for the 12. But I ended up below it, which is what I chose. So I'm going to slide the cue ball over in the other direction. Being sure to stay below the 12 so my cue ball moves this way. So, really optimal end pattern. Now compare that positional route. How hard is it? How many times out of 100 are you going to get dead straight in on this 10 rolling the cue ball like this? I bet 99, maybe even 100. So choose a route that has minimal cue ball movement, especially towards the end of it. But when you have options overload, just make a decision and commit to it and go. Now I've got an ideal angle. I talked about this in the last couple of Recs of the week. The ghost ball's here, so I've actually got a bit of an inside angle. I think right now I would prefer to shoot this with a high ball because the cue ball is going to follow the tangent line. The high ball is going to make it curve to the bottom rail, and it's probably just going to go 2 rails to center table without any inside English. I really like that. But I'm going to pull a Thorsten Homan. I'm shooting below center stun, hard, because I know I'm going to hit that 8 ball full. And then the cue ball goes to the side rail. Sometimes your cue ball is going to go 2 rails like this. Sometimes it's going to come to the upper part of the side rail and then out. This time I hit it dead full and it went straight to the side rail. That's an ideal result. I'm in business, another wide open rack. And I hope you enjoyed that rack of the week and got something out of it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week.